This game, I think, actually upset me a lot more than the one where I hung my queen. But that is for you to decide whether you agree or not. So my opponent was around 2000. I think he used to be a lot higher, and then he just had a few bad tournaments, so he had dropped below 2000, but so had I. I was also the lowest rated in this tournament, and I got 2.5. And I beat the guy who won the section. He didn't lose to anyone else, and I just killed him, which is also up on the YouTube channel. I didn't know what to expect from this game. He's played many things against me in the past. None of them were this move. I don't have any memory of how this game started. I just know how it ended. Another game I just sort of blocked out because it was so traumatizing. In the past, he's played d4, like, and it was semi-Slav, like, quiet system shit. Also, the first game I played with this guy, I held the most lost rook and pawn endgame imaginable. And I drew because I like the endgames. So I set up the one possible way that I could possibly draw. So that's what I knew. He sucks at endgames and he moves really, really fast. And he played 1d3. I played c5 because it fits into almost everything I play. Like, this could go a few ways. He could play e4, and then it could be like a closed Sicilian, which I don't currently play a Sicilian, but I have experience with it, and a closed Sicilian sucks, so not a big deal. If he does like King's Indian setup, I can do that too, just with c5, and so that's kind of what happened. I played knight c6 and g3, and now I am mirror for a while. c3. And, I mean, this position is totally fine for black. I played rook b8, just because I could play d6, but, I mean, I like to have the option to play d5 if I want to at some point, and rook b8 is useful regardless, because, okay, I'm getting out of this line of the bishop, so that d6 and b5 do not hang the knight at some point. Also, it just supports the push of the pawn to b4 that's already supported by my bishop, so it just makes sense as a plan. So rook b8, a4 makes sense, but it doesn't really change anything. I still play a6. And b5 is very difficult to stop. He plays d4. And with a4 already in, I mean, this is a sad move to make. Like, you probably should. This is, like, the way white is playing is kind of disgusting to me. I just don't understand why people play this way with the white pieces. Like, you have a chance to just put pressure on your opponent, and you just don't. I don't understand that. It's just not something I'll ever relate to. So I take, and c takes is pretty bad, because I just played d5, and this is kind of overextended, and it just looks like shit. Thanks for the raid, KD Learns. The party of 67. I'm analyzing some games that I played over the board right now from the Colorado Closed Challenger section. So taking with the pawn would suck, because, I mean, I don't really even know how to explain it. Like, it's just, this pawn structure is bad. I don't know. This bishop is stupid. I mean, I might still play b5, but I also don't have to. This knight doesn't make sense here if he doesn't have a pawn on c3. If he doesn't have a pawn on c3, then his knight makes a lot more sense here. It went alright. I got 2.5 out of 5, and I was the lowest rated. Don't look at the first game, though. It was horrible. Okay, so he takes with the knight, and then this is a good position to say, what would you play here? Because you have many moves that are, you're just, like, black is already equalized. It's just, there's just a lot of good moves here, and I played one that was not one of those. And this is another one of these situations where I just kind of overlooked something very obvious. So e5 seems natural, because I just want a big center. So that's our candidate move number 1. d6 or d5. Both of those moves... Well, okay, d5 isn't quite as bad. d6 is very, very stupid and bad, because I think you're just losing a pawn. But thanks for the Twitch Prime. Or at least, I think you're losing more than a pawn. d5 at least takes care of that. So d5 and e5 are 2 candidate moves. There are a few other good moves. Take the knight and go d5. I could do that, but I don't really... I feel like his pawns are not super great, and it might be better on d4. The other position, the reason it was so bad is, okay, he has more pieces on the board, and this knight doesn't have a great square, but if he trades this knight off first, then he has a square for his knight, and then it could come to e5. So there's a little bit of a difference. So knight f3 here would be good. But yeah, taking on d4 is not something I would consider. I just see this as a way to put pressure, and a way that it's keeping his pieces in a box. So I don't want to do that. Queen c7 is another good move. The other good move is rook e8. Now, one of these moves is not like the others. One of these moves is bad, and that move is also the move I played. And it doesn't require like a whole lot of thought to understand why, or it shouldn't at least. Every time I'm presented with an option, I choose the wrong one. Queen c7, knight f3, and bishop coming to f4. No, because then I'll have e5 forking your pieces, or at least attacking your bishop, getting a tempo. So listen, queen c7 and rook e8 are the 2 best moves, giving black a teeny tiny minuscule advantage, but not really, it's just equal. These moves are keeping options open with our pawns. I don't know where I want my pawns just yet until he commits some of his pieces. Queen c7, if knight f3, rook e8, I'm prepared for anything at this point, and I'm just gonna react in the best way to whatever you do. Same thing with rook e8, probably transposes. d5 is fine, it's just a kind of a commitment, and I could possibly be blocking my bishop in at some point if I have to defend the d-pawn. And it's just committal. e5 is brilliant. That's what I played. The problem with e5 is that he just takes on c6, and now the d6 square is a problem. Because what I didn't see is that if I take this way after knight c4, he's attacking my e-pawn. Because I was planning on just playing d5 here, and his position was stupid. But my e-pawn is hanging, which I didn't see, because I suck. So then when he played that, I was like, oh, okay, I'm stupid. I took with the d-pawn. And this way, okay, I can at least make it look like I did this on purpose. This is not, like, terrible for black by any means. At least the bishop is a little bit stunted. I've prepared the development of my bishop. I mean, it's not so bad, it's just I definitely could have tried for an advantage. And now I'm a little bit worse. So now I'm mentally kind of fucked up, because I already made one mistake. And now I'm in my head about, like, God, I'm such an idiot. How could I do that? I'm gonna hang my queen again, aren't I? Your boy's not very good at blunder checking. Let's just put it at that. So he still plays knight c4, and at least putting the knight on d6 is not such a problem anymore. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not like I'm just lost. So we can at least have that. So I have to defend my e-pawn. I chose to do it in a way that was not very good. Knight h5 is what I should do, I guess. I mean, okay, I think that the point is that, just don't make faces at the knight. I think the point is that, okay, the knight isn't doing anything spectacular over here, but it's out of the way. It's not like a hazard. But on d5, I just kind of ran, like, face first into a little problem here, being the dark squares. So e4, knight e7, and this move is not good. but he can take on d8 and then play f4 or bishop e3, and the point is that like eventually a5, and my position just sort of sucks. The knight is so good. It's so good here. Josh, I already explained why I have a6 and c6 in. It's because I didn't see my e-pawn was hanging. Like, I wanted to take with the b-pawn, but then I was like, oh, this is a fork on the d6 square in my e-pawn. The plan was to play d5 here, but he takes my pawn. Queen c7, not a move. Queen c7's a move. Here? Anyway, position bad, but my opponent played bishop g5. The bishop belongs on e3. That's where it will cause the most problems. So, I'm getting a lot of follows. Thanks for all the follows. The bishop's not super threatening over here. I kicked it back. Maybe that was wrong of me. But I was kind of at a breaking point where I wanted to do something. Because psychologically it's hard to be in such a dry yet bad position. Yeah, here I'm gonna turn this. Anyway, hold on. Right, turn the sound down. Oh, queen c7. Now there's queen d6, which is a big stinking problem. The knight have no squares. My queen is attacked. My knight is attacked twice. So shit sucks. What I should do is just play bishop e6, you know, attacking the knight. I'm not exactly sure what I was afraid of. Maybe I just calculated incorrectly and I was like, oh, my knight's hanging. But it's a trade. Oh, it's not. Well, I think I can do this. And then he bishop c7 or c. I mean, this is not a fun position. Like this bishop is so much better than this one. So I don't know. This is a shitty position. So f6 is not, you know, fantastic because it pushes his bishop to a better square. So that, I don't know. It's just a terrible position. What if bishop takes e5 at the end? Here? I think I have to take this way because I'm attacking this guy. I would prefer this with bishops than bishops on, but okay. f6, then bishop e6, attacking the knight. Queen e2, b3 is a better move. Perhaps he was afraid of b5, and then the b pawn is loose, maybe. Queen e2, I wasn't that worried about. Now I play b5, and I'm starting to play good moves again. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of my knight either, or my bishop, or my other bishop, or my pawns, or my queens, or my rooks. The position is just bad. However, he's making it more enticing by the minute to me, because again, this is another person who plays instantly in classical chess, and meanwhile, as a spoiler, the end of this game was another rough one where I had like 3 minutes and my opponent had an hour. This shit makes me so mad. Because when your opponent like has an advantage and they're like kind of the whole game, but they don't spend the time to actually convert anything, they just sort of play moves that don't hang anything, and then like instantly, that makes it really difficult for me to accept a draw from a person, even if it's an equal position, even if I was under pressure the whole time, because I just kind of lose respect for people very easily. And it's a matter of principle for me. Like chess class, like yeah, that's definitely the way to beat me though, is to play like an idiot, because it makes me so mad that I am not rational. That's a me problem though. So my position is like not so bad anymore now that I'm kicking his knight. This knight was so good. I fixed one of my stupid pawns. I guess I should say if I take this way, there's this, and then that's... I think this is actually harder to defend than the a-pawn. While the a-pawn is being looked at by the rook, his knight has to step in front of it. He can play knight d2, but then I play a5. I would be surprised if I'm worse here. So knight a5 is, God, it's not forced. It's just like a better move. Queen c8 is the bullet move. I assume the point is getting, okay, I want to put my rook on d8. I don't want any forks. I want to develop my knight. I want to support my bishop. I want to control the c4 square. I want to control a6. So queen c8 seems good because it's doing so many things at once. But it's actually a mistake. Well, their strength isn't their intuition if they completely spoil their advantage by playing subpar moves over and over again. That's not intuition. That's just playing chess like it's blitz and then waiting for your opponent to get in time pressure and make a mistake. No, I mean, I played these games a month ago, so I don't have a clear memory of what I was thinking. So queen c8 seems like it does a lot. Better is queen c7. I think it's the point is just to keep the rooks connected, which makes a lot of sense. Queen c8 is a little bit goofy if he just plays a simple move like rook d1. And then actually the best move here is queen c7, because I need to be able to put a rook on d8 without having to take back with the queen. Which makes sense, so I don't know how I didn't understand that. Probably because I have a skill issue. Yeah, it's most people these days. That's how they play. But b4 is just not that great. I was very happy to see b4. And this game was so devastating because it's just like it's a good representation of a lot of the games I lose. Or at least I'm usually not worse out of the opening, but here I was, and I kind of actually crawled my way into like a slightly better endgame. But then disaster struck. But it's fine. Knight c6, I should probably play rook d8. Knight c6 is also good. This knight is kind of annoying. I don't think it's fantastic on a5 or anything, but it's kind of getting in my way. But the bigger problem is my knight on e7 is just bad, so I'd like to trade it off. So rook d1, and I trade. And I take on c3, and now it's equal. So he lost his entire advantage in like 5 moves because he was playing instantly. Because he has great intuition, I guess. I can't wait for the Bill Weinmuller comment, but I'm being too mean to my opponent. I'm mean to bad chess. Like, if you're playing chess with no soul or passion, I'm going to say so. You can get your feelings hurt, but it feels like a personal attack. It makes me incredibly angry. Why are you playing chess if you don't want to think? Alright. Rook takes a6 is a better move. What he played was like, he's trying to hang on to his b-pawn. But after rook takes a6, it's not like I have time to take this because this is attacked. I have to play bishop c4 and then queen e1 maybe, or queen d2. So instead he plays bishop c5, and it's just hard when your opponent is just move after move making just like third best, fourth best moves that don't hang anything. Like, it's kind of annoying when I'm making like, yeah, I made a bunch of bad moves. I'm not any better. I'm just saying, to me, it's an annoying style. So I play rook d8 because he was attacking my guy. I can play bishop c4 at any point that I choose. Now he sort of has to take on a6 before he loses the chance, before I play rook a8. And in fact, rook a8 was possible in this position, which is super cool, and I definitely would have played it if I saw it. If he takes on f8, I just take. This is a nice exchange sack. I mean, I would have definitely gone into this if it had occurred to me, but it's just sort of an odd move to make. So he takes on a6, I play bishop c4 because it's attacked. Gaining a tempo because his queen might move anyway. And then he played queen e1. I remember I thought a very long time on the sequence of moves for some reason, only to realize that after queen e1 I don't really have anything better than just trading queens. And this, like, almost completely symmetrical endgame. Almost, that's the key word. So I play rook a8, and because of these psychological reasons, and because I'm an NA chess player, and I don't have... This is definitely something I have to work on, where I just don't like draws. I was trying to think of ways I could play for a win here. So I played bishop f8, and I'm trying to sack this f6 pawn, in some cases, just in order to get my pieces very active. Yeah, the end of this game was pretty sick. So he takes on f8, and I play king takes f8. So the cool thing is that this pawn sacrifice is actually reasonable. And my point is that if he takes on f6, I play king e7, and then if he goes back to b6, look, I've made 2 moves for free with my king. And I thought that the time was actually going to make a difference here. Why would that make you want to throw up, Pavlovich? I mean, taking on f6 is... Are you saying my pawn sacrifice is that stupid? Because it's not. I think it makes a lot of sense. If I get my rooks active, I mean, my king's already in the center. Might have winning chances. Why is he playing if he doesn't take? I think he's just playing for a draw. Like, I think he's been playing for a draw the whole time. I mean, you can kind of tell by his opening choice, and just... It's just not something that would ever cross my mind to play for a draw, so when other people do it to me, it's hard for me to realize that's what they're doing until after. I'm like, what, why is he doing this? But, okay, bishop f1, he just wants to trade and he wants a draw, which is just weird to me because we're around the same rating. We're both experts. But now I play king e7, and I guess you're right, Pavlovich, because yeah, he kind of does have to take it in order to justify it. Otherwise, yeah, my king is also on e7. I'm in the other position, it's my move here, but he gives me a check. And then here I was like, okay, this is a blunder because of bishop h3 check. And I was aware of this, alright? So I played rook d7, and he took. And then I think I thought for like 5 or 6... like a long time here, and I was like, I am the only one with winning chances here, and I thought for like 10 minutes, and I thought about so many things, like there was like deep ideas behind rook c8, but I forbore. I saw it the first time because king e6 would have been a blunder because of bishop h3, but then I forbore. Kind of crawled my way into a slightly better endgame, and then I sabotaged myself. If I take on f1 and then like rook a4, I can't really win this. So that's why I didn't play it. If he does something incredibly stupid, it's just very hard to win. So that's why I was like, oh, but rook c8, and then I'm threatening to take on f1 and get my rook active and put it on c4. And he doesn't have a very good move, because if he goes this way, then I bring my king in, and if he takes, then I'm getting in there and I have winning chances. And it was a thing where I thought till I had like 3 minutes left, and then I just sort of played it. And this time, I did actually realize I blundered immediately after I let go. And I think that's more painful, honestly. So then I lost. I don't know. It's not much to say. It's just the worst blunder of all time. I think this one, I actually do feel worse about this blunder than the one in the game 1. I was playing for stalemate, but it did not work. He also didn't play the most accurate checkmate, which was annoying. But if you ever feel bad about yourself chess-wise, just, you know, think about this game and the game that we looked at before.